Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to Crash Landing. And I hope you guys liked the little building time-lapse there. This thing took an awful long time to build, and it took a huge amount of resources. It was close to a full 64 stacks of cobblestone to build these structures up above, and then almost a full 64, well, I think it was like 30 stacks of glass and 43 stacks of dirt to do this. It's just absolutely massive. But, yeah, this is something that I've been needing to build. It's both functional and aesthetic at the same time. So, a couple of things that we're going to be doing here, and we'll be doing these right away. These pads on any side of these walking paths are going to be for our fruit trees. So I need to bring those in here and plant them. And then also the center is going to get some elevator blocks going through it so that we can use the top of this to launch ourselves and glide off to the cities for exploring. So yeah, this thing's got its purposes, and then also, you know, I still need to do the floors in here, but also it shows us where our future domes will be built. So going off of each of the 4 cardinal directions from this thing will be another dome. And so this one over here we've already set up as our water and dirt production. And it produces a very large amount of charcoal also, but I mean, we don't really need that charcoal for much of anything else. And also I went ahead and put this railing back up here. Now this is glowstone glass and it emits light. It's from Extra Utilities, I believe. It's nothing more than some thickened glass surrounded by 4 glowstone dust, and then I cut it up into covers so that it goes a little further and isn't as thick. And also, you probably noticed during the building time lapse that yes, I broke down and built a jetpack, and yeah, I need to actually go down and charge this thing. But yeah, I went ahead and built the hardened jetpack. And, yeah, I'll tell you right now, I did die during the building of that. It was unfortunate. I didn't have my jetpack on, and I was holding shift, and I've been putting down glowstone strips for lighting, and apparently walking onto one of those while you're holding shift does not, hold you onto the block. Oh, that's a nice graphical glitch. But so I accidentally walked off of the scaffold up there about 35 blocks off the ground. Thankfully, I had my extra guy, and so I didn't have to worry about that. But as soon as this tree gets done being cut, okay, we're going to take a look at how much stuff we've gotten from this sludge boiler here. And it is just ridiculous. I have not sorted these once, but you can see it's a huge amount of clay. I don't know what we're going to do with all this clay. And then there's a good amount of sand, some salt, a lot of dirt. We've got 5 pieces of netherrack, 21 mycelium, and 35 soul sand. So there's quite a bit of that, and we got some gravel too. I didn't see that. So yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff there. It was definitely worth it to set that up. Now, what I would like to do is get that thing away from this area, put it somewhere that maybe bury it underground or something like that, because I don't know if it's 5 blocks or 6 blocks away from it. It gives hunger and one other effect, and I can't remember what the other effect is. Oh, poison, I think. But so we don't want to really have it where we can walk past it, especially when a tree can just be starting to be cut at any time. But also I've got a huge amount of dust here being sieved, and the factory manager here has been doing its job real good, so I've got in here to remove the Certus, redstone, gunpowder, and blaze, and then I'm crafting all of the other dust down. So the only thing that I have to deal with right now is the little stones, salt, and bone meal, eggs, and fish. So that's not too bad. They don't build up too much. But if we look in here, and I have smelted some stuff down in between episodes, we just have a huge amount of ores ready to be smelted. And then if we look in here, you can see we've got a whole bunch of silver blocks, 2 stacks of iron blocks, a whole bunch of tin, a stack of aluminum, a stack of lead. No, there's some more aluminum. I don't know why those aren't together. Almost 2 stacks of copper. So, I mean, we have a huge amount of metal. So, I don't know if we really need to worry about this. I suppose we'll let this continue sieving. But, yeah, we don't really have too much to worry about on that anymore. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go grab my saplings now. The fruit saplings. I think I'm going to sort those according to whether they're off of an oak tree or a jungle tree. And then we'll go ahead and plant those and see what it looks like here. I'm kind of feeling like, we're going to plant the saplings in these areas, the 4 along the side. I'm kind of feeling like we need to put some additional decoration here on the inside, whether it be some water features or maybe just some regular trees. I don't know. But, yeah, it definitely feels a little bit barren. It still looks good, but it feels like it needs a little more. So I'm going to grab all those fruit saplings, and I will be right back. Alright guys, so I've got all of these fruit trees planted. I made sure that I've got at least one of everything. I think with the exception of vanilla beans and peppercorns. And I may have to put those in here in a little bit. It doesn't quite look as good as I had hoped, but it's not bad. I also bone mealed underneath all the trees and got grass, and that gave me a huge amount more saplings, as well as a whole bunch of other fruits and things. So, what I'd like to do now, I've been kind of sorting through all the foods that I have, and as far as I could tell, this is all of the different things that I could make jelly out of, and there's quite a few of them. So I made sure that I've got at least one seed for everything that has seeds, and then like the apples, papaya, orange, cherry, and mango, they're all coming off of these trees, so we've got plenty of them. So there's a lot of jelly to be made here, and I don't have near enough sugar to do that. So if we look up sugar here, the sugar cane, the regular vanilla recipe, 1 sugar cane gives 1 sugar. We all know that recipe. There's a few other things for sugar cane, but one thing that's nice here is if we run that sugar cane through a pulverizer, we get 2 sugar. So I think it's time that we build a pulverizer, and in order to do that, I think we are going to need to go ahead and get a little bit more stuff done in PneumaticCraft. I don't think that I have any of the the logic expansion cards, whatever they are. I don't have any of those here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a few of those, and then I'll come back and we can get that pulverizer. And actually, looking at it here, getting kind of low on the jelly sandwiches. I've got an awful lot of the footlongs and a lot of the leafy fish sandwiches, but I mean, I just don't want to run out of food. So I'm going to get those processors made up, and I will see you guys in a little bit. So guys, I've been playing around with Steve's Factory Manager, trying to get the PneumaticCraft seeds to grow. And I have a system here that works. If I flip this lever on, it will dispense a seed out. As soon as the seed is in the ground, it'll start hitting it with bone meal. And as soon as it's full grown, it will break the plant, collect it, and then do it some more. Now, I've been running this a little bit, and I've got quite a bit of seeds here. But now, one problem that I've run into, the original lightning plant seeds, they did not have this value, and they sure didn't have the metadata behind them. But I have 2 different metadatas even in my seeds right now. And it's really kind of messing things up. Here, let me turn this back off. It'll automatically finish out this plant. So inside of this manager, I have 3 sets of controls here. This first one is using the redstone signal to first put in, let's see here, this is going from the chest, and it's grabbing, I guess that's grabbing the bone meal. No, that's not using, this one uses the block update. This one uses the block detector, and it checks for ID of 611 from anywhere from 0 to 12. So if we flip this on and look at the plant that comes out here, we'll see it has an ID of 611, and anything up to a 12 is not fully grown, and so it will register that as needing bone meal. So then that puts the bone meal into the dispenser and then emits a redstone pulse, and I think I have this to toggle, so it's either on or off, and that then outputs the bone meal onto the plant. This one is checking to see if the redstone is on. If the redstone is on, so if that's true, oh, let's see here, what's this? Okay, so this checks at the block gate then to see if there's lightning plant seeds. Now, originally I had the other lightning plant seed here. So it checks to see if there's a lightning plant seed in front of the block gate. And if there is, then it, or if it isn't, so this is false. If it isn't, then it will grab a seed from the chest, put it in the block gate, and the block gate will spit it out in front of it. And this is set up on a 2-second interval. When I had it on a 1-second interval, it just kept spitting seeds, and the seeds never had a chance to grow. So I had to set it to a 2-second interval so that it had a chance to plant the seed. Now this third one is checking, once again on the block update, it is checking for a metadata of 13. And that metadata of 13, if we watch the plant here really closely, when it's fully grown, 12 and now 13. And at 13, that's a fully grown plant, and so it will break the plant. And the way that it does that is we have the input now as the block gate, and then it outputs back to the chest. And as you can see, we've got a lot of seeds in here now. So I think I'm going to shut this off now. And I've been having a big problem with these squid plants. And anytime that I try to work with them, they tend to pop out of the water. So I'm going to experiment with these just a little bit so that I can get the squid plant seeds automated. And I think that the system that's going to make this work is going to be fairly similar to the other one. But of course we're putting it on water instead of dirt. But the reason I'm working with these two seeds in particular is because the lightning plant seeds are used for the capacitors and the squid plant seeds are used for the transistors, so that we can take these unassembled PCBs and turn them into our logic processors. So I'm going to see if I can figure out this the squid plant seeds, and I will be back in just a bit. Alright guys, so this one is very much of a pain. So these squid plant seeds, first off, they do pop out from time to time, so I think I'm going to have to put a glowstone cover in front of this instead of the nook. But also, these plants occasionally will grow in the range that you just saw. Am I out of... Okay, yes, I am out of those seeds, aren't I? So now we're at the 16 range seeds instead of the no metadata seeds. But, oh man, my computer just lagged a whole bunch. I don't know what that was about. But, so I have a feeling now we're going to get the other seeds. So let's just see here now. This one I believe is for the seeds, yeah. So what I need to do is I need to grab one of these seeds. And we're going to import, or input, we're going to change this to, INV. We're going to change this to these new squid plant seeds, and then, and then we're going to output the same. So this should accept these new squid plant seeds now. Oh, whoops, I just threw a whole stack of them. So, we need to specify amount here of 1. So let me grab all of those. So now we'll see that these seeds, once again, popping out. So they're kind of a pain sometimes. Okay, so this one went at the proper number. But occasionally they go on a higher number, so I had to set up 2 harvesting routines here. This one here goes on the metadata of 6. This one goes on the metadata of 13. Now, if these squid plant seeds hit a metadata of 14, they throw a squid in the air. So that's why I had to be really careful. If you bone meal a metadata of 6, it will shoot a squid in the air. So I think I'm gonna, well, let's just see here. Yes, I do have a cover here. So, whoops, didn't mean to break that. So we're going to go ahead and place a cover there, and hopefully that will keep the seeds from popping out in front of it. But, oh, now they're sitting on top of it. This is great. These stupid squid seeds, they are a pain. So let's see here. I've got some dark glass here that I could place higher up, and maybe keep those from popping up in the air. So, yeah, that looked like that worked. I guess what we could do here is reverse those and put the dark glass on the bottom and the glowstone cover up top. That way we can see what's going on in there, but then the seeds can't pop out. Now, when it does pop out like that, we're not wasting bone meal, even though the dispenser clicks. I've checked that pretty thoroughly, and it does not use any bone meal. But, so this system is working, albeit kind of glitchy at times. But we will start getting seeds now. And oddly enough, now we have a whole bunch of these seeds that are the proper metadata again. So I'm going to let this run for a little bit. I'm going to probably process a bunch of this stuff into our resistors and transistors so that we can make these logic circuits, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I have everything set up here to make the pulverizer. So now we're going to go downstairs where we've got our power cables. And I suppose the easiest thing to do here, I really don't want to remove that. So we're just going to pop off this panel here. And we're going to go ahead and drop this pulverizer down. We'll set the configuration to nothing currently. So this is charging up, and I have a bunch of sugarcane in my inventory. So if we throw this sugarcane in here, we'll see we get doubled production on that. And that is great in and of itself. But now the next thing is that we can pulverize our cobblestone into gravel too, and our gravel into sand, and whatever else we need to do. So I think I'm probably going to make a couple more of these and start getting them set up to take care of grinding up our cobblestone, because we have tons of dust has been sieved, but we really need to sieve some gravel and sand now. And you know, the sand, we need that for making glass and a few other things as well. And so, yeah, I'm going to set up a few of these. I'm not sure where just yet. Through the wall behind this set of furnaces does happen to be the cobblestone production. So I suppose that probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put it back there. But we need to be somewhere that we have power. Eventually, I'd like to make some tesseracts to send some of this power elsewhere. We are producing way more power than we're using here, and I just don't know for sure how long this is going to last, but hopefully it'll last until we can get into big reactors. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more of these built, get them set up, and we'll see how things are going after that. Well, I made up 4 more of these pulverizers here, and I just laid them out here next to the fluid transposers. And it got me to thinking that I really need to get an area specifically for all of this tech stuff that we're making now. And also, as I was refilling my camel packs here, I thought I really should get one of these factory managers to take care of all of the water systems for me. And for that matter, I should probably get one that will take care of all of the leaves, saplings, vines, logs, charcoal, all of that stuff here for me as well. Now, one other thing that I've done here, I built another autonomous activator, and set it up here next to a barrel of water that is sitting on top of mycelium. And we've already seen this. This makes witch water. And as soon as it makes witch water, the activator puts in a block of sand, turns it into soul sand, it pops it back out of the barrel. This vacuum hopper sucks it up and pulls it into this barrel. So this is going to be automatic production. This water will never run out as long as we have leaves and we have charcoal. So there's no point in not using it because we have a huge surplus of leaves currently. And then also this inventory manager here is making fresh water for me, and it's set up to only make 64. So if I were to pull, say, 4 of these out, we'll see it's immediately 64. If I pull half of them out, it'll slowly build back up to 64. And so I've got that set up real nice, you know, so that I don't have to worry about fresh water dealing with that. And since it destroys the water bottles, it's no big deal. But so I'd kind of like to get all of that set up on a factory manager. I can set all of these fluid transposers to be working with the single factory manager. And yeah, I can have 1 barrel for water bottles, 1 barrel for empty bottles, 1 barrel for full camel packs, 1 barrel for empty camel packs, and then, you know, of course, my saplings and leaves and all of that. And yeah, I think I'll set all that up between episodes because unfortunately I have run out of time for this episode. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up. It helps me so much in staying motivated to do these episodes, and yeah, it also helps to get me noticed on YouTube, and so I really appreciate all the likes that you guys have given me. And views and everything else. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. We do try to get an episode out every day. Of course, this time-lapse episode has slowed things down a little bit. But yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!